Hey brewers and beer lovers, just really short, quick video here running through the components of the CO2 or gas side of a kegging system. Not gonna go super in depth, just kind of give you a rundown of the pieces that you're gonna need and a couple optional parts that will give you a little bit more flexibility depending on how you set your system up. I only have enough room for 2 kegs, and so this system allows me to have 2 different serving pressures, and I will explain how those things can be swapped around a little bit to give you even more flexibility if you have multiple kegs. So laid out here is everything for the gas side of my system. So I have CO2 tank. This is a 5-pound. I also have a 20-pound tank for that is my primary tank. This is my backup in case my 20-pound runs out, which takes a long time because it's a really big tank. But so this is where the CO2 comes out of. It'll come out here. This is the primary regulator that this nut, there's a silicone washer inside. This attaches to the tank, and then when you open it up, this screw allows you to set the pressure coming out of here. So since I have the primary regulator and a secondary regulator, the primary regulator needs to be set to the highest pressure that you need for the system. So the reason for this is I have a keg of carbonated water on tap at all times. So I keep that at about 15 PSI, but most beer gets served at around 7 or 8. So what I have set up is from my primary regulator, I go through this 5/16 inside diameter gas hose into a two-place manifold. You can get multiple manifolds. I've seen up to 6 or 8, and you can also use this nut unscrews, and then you can put another hose barb in to go into another manifold so that you could have as many kegs as you want hooked up onto one system. But this hose comes into the two-way manifold, and then I have this hose that comes out to my carbonated water keg, which is a pin lock. And then the other barb goes from here out into my secondary regulator, where I can specify a lower pressure than the primary. And then from there, then I have the line that comes out, and we'll go into this barb, or this 1/4-inch MFL. And the reason that I have this instead of just going into a barbed quick disconnect is because I have both pin lock and ball lock kegs, and so I want to be able to swap between these two. And the other thing coming off of this, if you wanted to have one keg at a higher pressure and then you go into a secondary regulator, you could have another manifold here that could split out however many kegs you wanted at that pressure. So yeah, so keg or CO2 tank, primary manifold or primary regulator, manifold, secondary regulator, and then into my quick disconnect. And I am adding the ability to attach to commercial Sankey kegs. I'm gonna be replacing these beer nuts with an adapter so that I can use my ball lock quick disconnects to serve off of the Sankey keg, but I haven't gotten that part in yet, or those in yet. They will replace these two hose barbs, and then I'll be able to serve commercial beers from Sankey kegs as well. So yeah, that's the main thing, or that's all of the components. These little nylon washers are super important. They help make a better seal inside these threaded nuts. The washer goes in here, and then that can be screwed onto whichever type of quick disconnect you need. So that is the gas side of a kegging system.